Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm the Pixel Doctor. This is 999. 9 doors, 9 persons, 9 hours. We are here. Let's top down view. In this casino. I don't see anything from this angle. Counter. Card. Playing card. Playing card. That was pretty well polished. Oh, expensive glasses. Eating drinks taste good in glasses like these. Oh, that's probably the counter. Oh, there's a... Firewood in the fireplace. I think I find a card here. I feel like we're supposed to find a whole hand. Weird looking thing floating there. Thing floating in there. Alright, that didn't help. Great, I can feel a frame here. What sort of painting is it? Clouds maybe? Clouds. Maybe it's a rabbit. Rabbit. Well, it's not that. It might be close up with some teeth. I guess there's actually nothing there. Just a blank piece of canvas in the frame. Let's see. How strange. Yeah, that is strange. Keep a note of that in my head. Door shut tight. Well, that's the door we came in. That symbol is for part spade and diamond here. She has pretty old-fashioned design. While maintained, it probably still works. Point slot. It says 1 on the plate. 2 parts. I have a feeling I'm going to need to memorize that. This is going to have to do something with cards. Part spade diamond. Part spade diamond. Spade diamond. Wait, is there any cards on these I didn't notice? I didn't know. Oh, those are buttons for the thing. The card is attached to the panel. It's attached very well, it seems. Now, mind, what sort of card is this? It's a playing card. The ace of spades, in fact. It looks like we need to put a playing card in here. Alright, let's give it a shot. It says 9. So it would seem. I'm shocked and appalled that guessing at random has not yielded better results. Yeah. Damn it. This isn't exactly working out the way I expected. Locked, isn't it? Is there a keyhole? There is, I can't find it. Well, there must be some way to unlock it. Let's look around a little more, shall we? Square table. Looks like a mahjong table. You play mahjong, Sid? Maybe? I don't remember exactly, but I do remember a couple of hands and some of the rules, so I figured I must have played it at some point. Excellent. Once we've vacated the festival, I should like to play a game with you. You can play it. Which tiles I'm eliminating? Yes, I believe I have at least enough skill to defeat an amateur. However, I must ask you to remove the red tiles when we play. Stained glass. It's beautiful. What? Huh? The glass is colored pieces of glass. Placed together in a frame. As I said many times before, and you only touch it to know. You can only discern that the basic structure. Place 4. I was playing Baccarat? I've never heard of this one. It's a little off though. It's like the middle. Look at the middle table. Just something in the middle. Something mounted on it, see? This thing. Lily 7 began to speak. Baccarat. You ever played Junpei? Junpei shook his head. He barely even heard of the game. Same here. Alright. How about I explain the rules to you a bit? See, this is kind of an unusual game. But the banker and the player, and the whole point is that you guess which one's gonna win. What the banker or player wins all depends on their hands. So each hand works is different from the other games too. So you take the number from the ones place and you add it up to the value of all your cards. Whoever gets the number closest to 9 wins. If the number is smaller than your opponent's, you lose. And that's it. That's the explanation. Got it. Actually, there's a lot more to it. Strategy, details, that sort of stuff. But I just told you sums up the core of the game pretty well. A single digit of the sum of all the cards you have. The strongest hand is a 9. And the weakest hand is a 0. Just ignore the numbers in the 10 spot. You get it? You got it. He hadn't been asked for it, but Seven's explanation rushed through it was very helpful. Rushed though it had been, I read that wrong. Although he had half understood most of it, Junpei now felt as though he had some grasp on how victory was won in Baccarat. However, we had knowing at the closest Baccarat table in front of him was made use of the rules, and if it did, what way? No problem, he told himself he would simply try everything he could think of. Feeling more confident, if only slightly, Junpei approached the Baccarat table. See the playing card behind the table. The 8 of spades. 7, are we really supposed to play Baccarat? It's Baccarat table, what the hell else would we do? That's not worried about it. Real simple. See opponent's hand. Well, there's an 8 in the last case. Alright, that's your opponent's number. And that's the case. What 3 cards do you need to get that number? 3 cards? I'll pull indentations with the white mantra, right? Just gotta put down 3 cards. So, with 3 cards here to beat the opponent. I guess. Yeah, I think so. It tells me those aren't the only rules. Alright, let's give it a shot. First try, but make sure I get them straight. There are 3 empty indentations. I just gotta pick a card and play it. There, if I put them in the right spot, something ought to happen. Alright, let's give this a try. So it gotta be... If I do 3 and 7, that's 10. I can't reach it. 4 and 7, that's 11. Can't reach it. 5 and 7. That makes 12. Hey, got it. Yes, open for me. Great. You did, Junpei. Now let's take the 8 card. Come on, let's grab it. Now let's take the card. Stuck to the table. I won't be going anywhere anytime soon, alright? Not sure if there's anything else here. I had a feeling that was weird. And you go, and in you go. Hey, alright, it opened up. It seems we have another device to contend with, yes? There are 3 slots in this one. Let's see, 3 slots for cards, and there's 9 right below them. So that means we gotta make 9 with the 3 cards we put in the slot, right? Just like we did over the Baccarat table. Let's give it a shot. We only have 2 cards left. There's a 2 somewhere. That means there's gotta be more alignment somewhere. I need a coin. That's not gonna work though. know what I'm looking for. Where's the frame? He painted on it. Oh, lights turned on. I heard something from the bottom of the fireplace. What was it? I heard something down there. Coins, if I would imagine. Back to this. I don't know why I didn't think to do this earlier. Spade, diamond, heart. Fucking that bag in here. Map. Heard no noise. But to be honest, I don't know. It's once or twice, but nothing happened. Oh. Looks like the coins got stuck. Oh dear. Imagine it's this one we need to actually try. Alright, let's drop the coin in the coin slot. The little bastards, I only want you. I forgot which order it was. 777, yes, 777. And I think here's something unlocked in there. That's the true thing. It would appear to be unlocked now. Something akin to a drawer at the bottom part of the machine, yes? Let's pick a drawer for dividend. Probably the one for the drawer got unlocked. Please open it if you would. What is it? Something in there? Yeah, a playing card and this key with the Venus symbol on it. Excellent. I'll be able to open the gate. Just to figure out how to get out of this room. Correct. Come on, if I hurry up. And he's off. This playing card and a Venus key. Gotta put the key in my pocket for later. So this card. Woo! I already know what to do with you. Alright, so put all the cards we had left into the slots. What happens now? Is that? Yes, I did hear something from the exit. This is work, Junpei. Wonderful. The exit is unlocked. Let's go. Alright, let's go. That was a pretty easy one. I'm also pretty decent with card games and stuff like that. His companions ran out of the casino into a large, open room. A room, in fact, that they had been in once before. There was little to surprise them there. They already knew what their next step had to be. The iron gate still stood in place, locked tight, blocking the stairway. Inside of the gate was a keyhole engraved in the Venus symbol. This time, however, Junpei had the Venus key in his pocket. In no time, he pulled it out and shoved it into the keyhole. Turned it. Distinct sound of metal on metal, he felt the lock click open. Alright, let's get this thing open. No problem, let me help with this one. Junpei grabbed the handle on the left side, and Stone took the handle on the right on Junpei's signal. They both pushed, and the gates creaked. It sounds as though you've opened it. She's able to reach C-deck now, I imagine. Snake, are you gonna be alright? I mean the stairs. Please don't do yourself the embarrassment of underestimating me. I'd be unlike the trope even if I were running backwards. Good to hear, let's move. At these words, they leapt onto the stairs and dropped quickly down. In no time at all, they found themselves on C-deck. They ran down the stairs a little farther in hopes of checking the deck below. When he reached the water, he hauled up to Snake and Seven. That's what I thought. The deck is completely underwater. It's like the bottom of the central staircase. The surface of the water below them was flat, like a mirror. It had not changed too greatly since they'd last seen it with the... It was a great relief. Junpei quickly retraced the steps and headed back towards the C-deck. In front of the stairs were a pair of elevators. They appeared to be identical to the ones on the upper floor. between them, attached to the wall, was another card reader. And next to them was another strange symbol. Check it out, it's the symbol for Lotus. What? It's got the lone symbol and got the devil horns, right? Yeah, I see it, no two ways about it. It's a pretty good one, kid. Seven tousled Junpei's hair in what he likely thought was a friendly manner. Junpei feared his neck might break, even though it was clear Seven had kept his strength in check. Thankfully, Snake interrupted. After Junpei's conversation, he'd gone over to examine the card reader. This is a Mercury symbol. The mark he mistook for horns and saw that version of the wings of the staff of Hermes. Wings and a staff, huh? She beats you with the staff until you die and go to heaven? Sounds like Lotus apple, right? Seven shook Junpei's head even more vigorously, and the younger man began to feel as though his brain was being... Oh, I guess that's jostled. Oh, I already tossed it, whatever. About inside his skull. He began to feel rather ill. Unless we can activate this device without the elevator will function. In other words, we gotta find a key card with the Mercury symbol on it. So I would assume. They decided to leave the elevators alone for the time being and headed back to the staircase. To the left was another hallway. There's a great many doors lining both sides of the hall. They seemed to stretch on forever, and all three men suddenly felt very small. Ah, shit. We're not gonna have enough time to check all these, are we? Maybe we can come back here later. Let's check out the other side. Turn around and back the other way, they come. To the right of the staircase, another hallway stretched out, reaching deep into the bowels of the ship. After a few moments of moving briskly down the hallway, it emerged into an area roughly the same size and shape as the one at the top of the stairs. On the left side of the room were 4 French doors. Now let's open them up. Junpei nodded and grabbed one closest to him. He gave a small tug and felt it move. It was unlocked. Able to have found another unlocked door, he threw it open. And we're gonna get locked inside as soon as we go in. They didn't know what to make of what he saw. Oh. He simply stood unable to speak. His 7 eyes opened wide and his mouth gaped. After a few long moments, Seven at last managed to speak. Hey, what is this place? A massive room stretched out in front of them. More a cavern than a room. Its vastness was oppressive, and it bore down on Seven and Junpei. It's not empty, however. The entire room was filled with lines upon lines of beds. They were simple things, little more than pipe and thin mattress. Is this a hospital? He had last been able to put a name to the harsh scent that pervaded the room. The room was full of clean smell of antiseptic solution. In the center of the room were shelves stacked with medicine and a number of medical devices, the function of which Junpei did not know. More importantly, however, on the back wall of the room were 4 doors. 3 of them were emblazoned with large single-number digits made with thick red paint. On the left was labeled 3. The second door from the left had no number, but the third had been given a 7. The door on the right bore an 8. There could be no doubt they were numbered doors. It did strike Junpei strange, however, that the door between 3 and 7 should be blank. What, he wondered, could it mean? Let's take a look at those doors. Yeah, good idea. 3 of them threaded their way through the beds toward the back of the room. Upon reaching them, they proceeded to investigate each door in turn, but to no avail. Yep, locked, just like I thought. Naturally. After all, there are rules to the Nonary game, and to allow the doors to open, we usually would violate those rules. Unless we can authenticate ourselves with the red, the numbered doors will... Whoa, check this out. Suddenly, Seven spoke up, interrupting Snake. Look at the red. There's nothing on it. Huh? Remember the red back at the main staircase? There wasn't anyone in it that said vacant, remember? A little screen. Oh yeah, you're right. But this one... There's nothing. Right? Think it's broken? Only one way to find out. The others put their hands on the panel, but nothing happened. The red refused to change. They tried pulling the lever and still nothing. As they soon discovered, it was only the red on door 8 that seemed to be not functioning. The red on door 7 and the red on door 3, that wasn't the only one. I mean, none of them worked. What they wondered did it mean? Man, they've got to be broken. Man, that bastard. I didn't think Zero was the kind of guy who'd screw around with something like this. Whoa. Zero's been prepared for everything so far. Saying he's gonna make a mistake now? I don't know, that's the only thing I can think of. This thing ain't working at all. While Junpei and Seven talked, Snake busied himself examining the red. After a time, he lowered his hands and spoke. It seems as if some of the internal hardware has been removed. Internal hardware? That is what I said. Take a look at the underside of this red, if you please. Junpei obliged and bent over to take a look at the underside of the device. Long, thin slit ran along the bottom of it. As he looked harder, he realized it was more of a slot than a slit, and that it was clearly meant to accommodate some manner of electrical device. The other two reds were the same. Something had clearly been removed from all three of them. I get it. So the reds aren't working because somebody pulled out their guts. So I assume. But, why? And who? I mean, it doesn't really make sense. I have no idea. Why on earth would I know something like that? Just then, I heard the sound of a door opening. Heard the turn and saw Kane. Oh no, Junpei thought, it's June. He stopped short, surprised to see them, and was very nearly bowled over by the rest of the companions who were coming through the door behind her. Ace, Santa, Clover, Lotus all poured out of the door, each of them just as surprised at the last to see Junpei, Snake, and Seven. Junpei and Seven were for the moment. I lost for words. What are you guys doing? Why are you? After a moment's silence and surprise, everyone suddenly began to talk, desperate to exchange information. They talked about the rooms they'd been through and how they ended up in the same place. Of course, none of it was very useful information, but that hardly mattered. They were very happy to simply see one another again. Although the level of cheer varied greatly from person to person, each one of them was wearing some manner of smile. Almost as though they had already forgotten about the death of the Nightman. No, thought Junpei, perhaps that wasn't it. Perhaps thoughts of his death drove them to smile at one another. Not in a morbid or hateful way, no. The Nightman had died. They were still alive, and that was something to be happy about. Sort of simple, uncomplicated joy, Junpei thought, the joy of being alive. Still alive. He felt sorry for the Nightman, but no more than anything, Junpei was happy to be alive. That's what he gets for freaking out, not listening to the rules. This is bad, though. The red isn't working, we can't keep going. What about that big hallway? Maybe there's something in there that we might be able to go to? No, there's nothing there. The five of us had a quick look. There were a great many rooms, although none of them appeared to have held patients for quite some time. Patients? You mean all those doors are for hospital rooms? Yes. Apparently they have a number of individual rooms in addition to this large central room. There's a door down at the end of the hallway too, but it was locked. It had one of those solar system marks things on it. There's the Jupiter symbol. Jupiter. I wonder what it means. Views seem to be a consensus. That reminds me, what's the deal with this big room anyway? What is this thing? Is it some kind of huge passenger ship? No one, not even Snake, appeared ready to offer an answer until Seven unexpectedly spoke up. Bet it's a hospital ship. In fact, probably the Gigantic. The Gigantic? Junpei looked at Seven, shocked both by his knowledge and apparent identification of this prison. He's not the only one. What's the Gigantic? Seven nodded at Lotus and began to speak. The Gigantic. He explained that she had been a sister ship to the Titanic, built in the early 20th century. Titanic had two sister ships who were identical to one another in nearly every aspect. The Gigantic was said to be one of them. She was initially intended to be a passenger liner like the Titanic, but soon after the ship was launched, the First World War began, and she was pressed into duty by the British Navy as a hospital ship. Sometime later, the Gigantic was damaged by a German mine in Aegean Sea? I'm not sure how to say that. She managed to run run aground after the incident, and consequently was not sunk. What then happened to the Gigantic after her fateful encounter at the Argean Sea? One theory ran that a man named Lord Gordain purchased her. Gordain, it seemed, had been one of the few survivors of the Titanic tragedy. That trauma had turned him into an obsessive collector of all things related to the Titanic. As his obsession deepened, he began to desire the Titanic itself. That, of course, was impossible. The Titanic lay at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. The Gigantic, however, had not suffered such a dire fate. And as she was identical to her sister ship, she caught Lord Gordain's eyes. You're saying this Lord Gordain bought the ship? Yeah, at least I think I am. That's impossible. No way we're in some boat that's almost 100 years old. Write down, just pay attention. What? That's it? Well, have you got any proof? Proof? If this ship is really the Gigantic. Well, there's stuff that's like the Titanic and a hospital ship, so I just figured. Oh, for goodness, don't tell me that's your only reason. No, I got more. Like? I mean, I looked around desperately, doing anything to avoid me. Lotus's piercing stare. He scratched his head for a moment, then gave up. Finally, he opened his mouth. I don't know. Lotus sighed and shook her head. I guess your memory isn't back yet, is it? No, sorry. And almost as if to save Seven from further embarrassment. Again, the bell began to ring from far away. It sounded as though it was at the clock of the main stairway. Junpei counted each chime carefully. 10, 11, 12. It's midnight. But we still got 6 hours left, right? Let's just get moving. We gotta find the hardware that the Red's missing. That's all well and good, but where are we going to look? We've already searched the big patient's room. We examined the room as they talked. We haven't found anything. Right. There's only one thing left to do. Just one? Well, not just one. Wait a minute. Are you telling me we have to search all of these rooms? You checked some of them out before you came here, right? We each checked a single room, so 5 rooms in total. Alright, then that's 5 rooms we don't have to search. If we split up, it won't be that bad. Each of us can do 6 rooms apiece. We'll have the other 48 rooms cleared in no time. There are 48 rooms? Those do not seem excited about the project. Seven fidgeted nervously before responding. Maybe. After some discussion, the 8 of them decided which rooms to begin with and what order they would go in. Junpei was chosen to search the rooms on the starboard side, moving from forward to aft. They also determined when they would return to report their findings. The next time the clock sounded, the time. When it did, they would meet back at the large central room full of beds. If during their search any one of them were to locate the missing components, they were to yell for the others. If this strategy failed, they returned to discuss their options later. The details decided they left to begin searching. Out into the hallway they went, each to the rooms they had been assigned. However, far away, Junpei heard a bell ring. It did so only once. It was 1 a.m. He jogged through the entrance of the large hospital room to find 6 of the others already there. I'll see you guys next time.